Good evening, everybody. Can everyone hear me, especially those in the back? Can we get a thumbs up if you can hear me nice and clear? Excellent. Thank you, sir, for those great words. It's a very, very tough act to follow. And you set it up very nicely yesterday with another very tough act to follow, so I'm going to try my best. Some of this might be funny. A lot of it is going to be quite tough. Sorry. The font that I've used is really, really small and I can't really read it. Also the content maybe might be a little bit tough. Let's give it a go. So before I get into this and say anything else, let's get some glasses raised, some voices shouting, cheering, some hands clapping for the love of my life and the beautiful bride. Absolutely gorgeous tonight. And this morning, and yesterday, and so on and so on and so on. So here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family. It is incredible to be standing here in front of all of you. So many people here have travelled from near and far. Some from India, some are in India for their very first time. But I want to say a massive thank you to all of you, each and every one of you, for coming and celebrating with us. I speak on behalf of both of us and also our entire family here, that it means the absolute world that you're here. So again, get those glasses raised, some hands clapping, some voices cheering for all of you lot. So I'm going to do my best to be brief, because I am super conscious that everyone is waiting for food and being like, this guy in this weird jacket, just shut up and sit down. So I'm going to be brief. So the sooner that I sit down, the quicker that Joe and Sam can stand up and make fun of me. So that's sort of the order of service. I'm going to sit down, they'll get up and roast me for a little bit, and then we'll get into some lovely food. And I don't want to give too much away, but then we'll have some dancing. What I can say about that is we were initially planning to have professional performers come and do the dancing today. And I'm really glad that we didn't do that, because from what I've seen over the last couple of months, the professionals already existed in this family. You should be very excited. You should be very excited. So when I first sat down to write this, which was way more recently than I would like to admit, most of you that I've spoken to about it know when it was that I finished it. It was yesterday. And I thought, finally, my chance to do my stand-up comedy hour in a safe space, in front of everyone. But then I realised this is not about me, or making all of you laugh at the best jokes you've ever heard. This is about thanking the amazing people that my life has been blessed with, so I'm gonna leave the comedy to another time. I want to start by thanking my wonderful Indian parents, Amrita and Vinay, or meows and cows, as I call them. I have way more to say about these two people than I could ever fit into a speech, and even more to thank them for. They are honestly the two most loving and generous people I have ever met. They made me feel so welcome from the moment that I met them, bringing me into their family immediately, without hesitation and with complete love. And that's when the feeding started. My biggest struggle over the last 5 and a bit years hasn't been making sure that my future parents-in-law think that I'm good enough for their daughter. It's been getting back to the weight that I was the day before I met them. This cummerbund is not the style. It is literally holding me together. My first time coming to India, staying with, in the Indian context, my future parents-in-law, I did what any self-respecting, cripplingly nervous British person would do. I drank a whole bottle of Old Monk rum. Although that Old Monk definitely helped my nerves in the moment, I wouldn't recommend this approach, because when the monk leaves you, those nerves come back. When you wake up, 7 a.m., still drunk, and try and make interesting conversation with two lovely people that have let you into their house for some reason, but the shakes from the dehydration cause you to spill a whole glass of water all over all of their electricals. The nerves come back. When you find yourself a few hours later, day 2 in India, more hungover than you've ever been, stomach unprepared and churning, about to eat the best chole bhature you've ever had in your life. While chole was of course amazing, it's not the best preparation for an inherently shy person from a small family to go and then meet more relatives than I can count on 2 hands. The nerves come back. While the pictures from that day depict a wonderful moment, if you focus really close on my eyes, you can see the fear and the dehydration. Somehow I managed to get away with not making a bad first impression, and I've tried my best ever since to make myself worthy of the love you guys showed me from day 1. Pyaops. You are one of the most impressive people I've ever met. You're a constant source of inspiration, insight and intelligence, and I could never put into words the respect I have for you. I feel lucky to even be able to come to you for advice, let alone have your complete support. Of all my trips to India, one of my favourite moments was not being able to sleep because I had too much masala chai too late in the day, giving up and coming out to the kitchen around 5 a.m. and finding you there, talking with you for a couple of hours until Meows woke up and joined us and we all watched the sunrise together. This is a moment that I will never forget. I'm sorry, you were asleep. Meows. You are one of the strongest people I know, with the kindest heart, the biggest smile. Your joy for life and love for others is something all should aspire to. You're a selfless person, nothing is too much trouble for you. We are kindred spirits, in ways that you know. You have made me laugh until tears roll down my face, have fed me until I get unable to stand, and have taught me about life and myself. You told me on my first visit to India that I could be myself with you in Pyaops, because I was your kid. I can't tell you what that meant to me. I also want to thank you both for the tireless effort, attention and energy you've put into this wedding. Planning a wedding is difficult. Planning an Indian wedding from the UK is even more difficult. This wouldn't have been possible without you. You've made our lives super easy. You've been our on-the-ground, let's face it, extremely difficult to please taste testers. Our personal shoppers and stylists for me and my family, and a constant point of contact for the wedding planners throughout. Merely 3 examples, but there's so much more you've done. I love you both, and I'm glad you're my parents-in-law. From my Indian parents to my OG parents, my English parents, as you can see, there are 4 of them. Actually a bit inconvenient for me because I'm going to have to keep going like this. To my mum and David, thank you for everything. For all the support, love, advice and everything else that you've given me until now. You are the reason that I am here. For spoiling me as a child but teaching me how not to be spoiled. For dealing with me as a teenager and letting me express myself in the way I needed to, even if you didn't agree with it. Sorry about the lip ring. Sorry about the lip kiss. And for supporting me now as an adult. Thank you, Mum, for being the best mother I could have ever asked for always supporting me and understanding me and wanting what's best for me. Thank you, David, for treating me as your own from day one. For everything you do and have done for this family, you are the glue. Without you, we'd fall apart. It's hard to quantify or articulate everything both of you have given me, but when I sat down and really thought about it, I kept getting to this. You have always made my life easy. Never asked or expected anything from me. You've helped me with everything I've ever asked you for, no matter what you've got going on, you've always put me first. I have lived a privileged and wonderful life and will continue to do so, and that's because of you. I love you both. Finding out that India was a place that you always wanted to go to, Dad. It took me 33 years to know that that was your dream, but I'm glad that I can be a part of making that possible. You've grabbed the opportunity to explore this country with both hands, and we'll be leaving it, seeing more of it than I've seen in the 5 times I've been here. I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm more impressed. Thank you both for always thinking of us, for being here to support us, and for celebrating our relationship. Thank you, Dad, for never pushing me into anything. Sport has been your passion for as long as I can remember. And while I never got the talents that you have, apart from maybe in beer pong, see last night for more detail, you've never made me feel any less for not being able to follow in your sporting footsteps, and you've always supported my own passions, and I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you, Karen, for loving and looking after my dad, for bringing your creativity and your artistic streak to his life. Hopefully one day that might filter through and he'll listen to something other than Kylie Minogue on shots fired. And for making a beautiful life with him, and for helping me have a beautiful life as well as my stepmom. I love you both. Getting through it, guys. We're almost there. Almost. Rishabh Lichard, and when I was younger, I always wished that I had a slightly older brother and sister. Is it true?
It's true.
It's true. Standing here now as a 34-year-old, I can say that I now have both. You're an amazing couple, and I was honoured to watch you both get married last year. It was and will be a highlight of my life. As you touched on yesterday, Rish, we began by bonding over 2 of my favourite things that your sister hates: fried chicken and surprises. Our shared love of dark humour, don't ask us about what that means, The Sopranos, weird meats, and whiskey was a good foundation to forge friendship upon. But today, we are way more than that. We are brothers, and I couldn't be happier about that. The lovely Lisa. I've not known you for long, but it doesn't take long to know how awesome you are. Thanks for taking my place as the newbie in the family. That's how I was able to make the weight, because I was no longer the focus for the feeding. Thank you too for the kindness and love that you've showed me. I'm so happy that you, your sisters, and your mum are now in my life. I love you both. Thank you to our extended family, our dear friends. Make some noise, boys and girls. I have met wonderful and interesting people as I've strolled through my 34 years, from school to university to work. But the people that are here to celebrate and support us today are the cream of that crop. All of them are very, very special to me. They are my brothers, and in many cases, we've grown up together. I trust this group of people more than I trust myself, as they've had my back for decades. Of this group, a huge heartfelt thank you to my two best men, Joe and Sam. For standing by my side through all of this, for organising a stag that was about making me happy and not embarrassed, because you knew that was what I wanted. I will never forget our time in Seville. Joe. This is a hard one. We've moved through this life together, dude. From dressing as Batman and Robin, and swapping Power Ranger toys, to sharing Slash's cigarette smoke and our first festival, to you conducting the ceremony of this wedding. You are my brother, and I love you. Samuel. We've known each other over 20 years, and we've been best friends for at least 20 of those. We've navigated our toughest years together, I'd like to say with grace, but angst, piercings, dyed hair, and music that no one likes is probably more fitting. You were the first person to know that I was going to ask the question, well over a year before I actually asked it. And I hope that simply shows what you mean to me. You are my brother, and I love you. To the rest of my ushers and friends, the excitement that all of you lot have shown for this wedding has fueled my own. Your encouragement has built my courage, and I feel safe up here with this mic, knowing that you guys are here. Having you all here in India with me will be one of the best experiences of my life. I will never forget what you have done for me by being here. I'm proud of all of you, proud of the people that you are, proud that you're here with us, and proud to call you my friends. And I can't forget the wonderful humans from the bridal party. Woo! From friends to cousin sisters.
Sister cousins.
Sister cousins. And everything in between. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you over these last few years. You're an amazing group of people, and we are both so lucky to have you in our lives. There are representatives of that family both in the UK and in India, and I cannot explain how welcome these people have made me feel into their family, into their lives. They are literally the best. From the people that are here in India that receive me, feed me, laugh with me, cry with me every time I come here, to our wonderful Abhishek and Rinmay, and the two little cutest ones up here in the front. Getting through it, here we go. Right. Finally, to my best friends. The love of my life, my bride. Watching you walk down the aisle today was the most amazing moment of my life. I will never forget it. True to the millennials that we are, our bond began over a lunch of avocado toast. I remember coming away from that lunch thinking how interesting you were, how innocently open you were with me, and how much we laughed, and how quickly the time passed. From there, our relationship grew and strengthened at lightning speed. Predominantly whilst drinking coffees, walking around Soho, and eating in our beloved Dishu. I just wanted to spend every minute with you, and I still do. I distinctly remember a time very early on, when we were still new friends. We were walking back from St James's Park, chatting away, you turned to me and told me that you thought that we could never run out of things to say to each other. While I immediately agreed, I think that was the moment I felt something more. It's been 5.5 years since then, and what you said was true. We couldn't be further away from running out of things to say to each other. On another walk, this time under the cover of darkness, you made me a proposition. That we keep our musical tastes separate. I love thinking back to that moment. You were so serious about it, and I thought it was so unacceptable. It's not about right or wrong in this relationship. I would like to point out that I can now make Bollywood playlists by myself. I've seen over 100 Hindi movies. You've been to 2 post-punk hardcore gigs, and you can recite lyrics of Led Zeppelin, Idols, and any other bands that I love. Just saying. Thank you for being patient with me and waiting for me to ask you to marry me. Even though you weren't too shy to give me a hint or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6. These hints became especially prominent at the end of 2023. Much to my delight, because that's when I asked your parents for the permission to marry you. And a couple of months later, when I snuck off with them, whilst we were in India together to get your engagement ring made. From then, I had a good 8 months of feeling very, very smug each time the subject of marriage came up, knowing that you were sleeping every night less than a metre away from your engagement ring. During our relationship, we have done everything to spend as much time with each other as possible. When we worked together, we would walk an hour to work together, sit opposite each other all day, and then walk an hour back. When most of the world was locked inside, we spent 701 consecutive days together. These minutes, hours, days, months, and years have bonded us together for life. So I got what I wanted. I wanted to spend every minute with you, and I still do. This is how I know you are my one. I adore you so much. This is the hardest one. To those who aren't here, so I want to just give a nod to everyone that couldn't be with us tonight, whether that's friends or family, anyone that couldn't make it, and especially to our grandparents, our collective grandparents. That includes my 96-year-old grandmum who's back in the UK, waiting for my mum and David, who's talking to you for some reason, waiting for my mum and David to come back so she can hear all about the wedding. And also to my granddad, who was a very special source of inspiration to me. I never had the chance to tell him that this wedding would be happening, although I think he knew, and he would have absolutely loved this. I wear his treasured watch today, so part of him is here. And finally, that's what everyone's thinking, a huge thank you to Mulberry for making this happen. Give these guys a round of applause. They say that planning a wedding is one of the most stressful things that you can do in life. But quite honestly, with these two running the show, the only stress we have felt is that we weren't doing enough. You guys have been patient with us, you've got to know our personalities and tastes in such a little time, and you've really given us way over, above and beyond a wedding that we could have ever dreamed of. Thank you so much. And so finally, a toast. Thank God everyone says, get the toast done. To the bride, to all of you, the new larger family, to our friends, to those who couldn't be here, and to love, life, and future. Cheers.